Hey folks, Dan Frio here, the rate update. So today we're going to talk about, is the housing bubble at its popping point? Because headline news that I'm going to show you in a second reads, realtors report big decline in contract signings. Don't go away, we're going to dig into this in detail. Okay, so what I want to focus in on is everybody saying the housing market is dead and it's imploding and everything else. But let's really dig into the details here. So let's dive into this. Okay, some of the reports, and I just posted this on all my social media, so please go out there and check out my newsletter, or you can find it on my website. But realtors report big decline in contract signings. Well, why is that? Okay, and that is the focal point of what we're going to talk about. If you focus in on these points right here, you're going to see with today's data, the volatility expressed itself in the form of the biggest month-over-month decline in 11 months. The index dropped by 5.7% to a level of 109.5. December's levels were revised slightly lower to 117. Despite the losses, if we look beyond the post-COVID sales surge, current levels are still quite strong. So let me put some of this in context. The biggest thing that I want to focus in on is, okay, it's hard to say month over month or year over year. And why is that? Well, last year was terrible. Okay, we know home sales, the availability of homes just weren't there. And I proved that in many videos that I showed. So that's basically the fundamentals we want to start with. And then we proceed down this route. Okay, what I want to look is, where are existing home sales? Are they up, down, or whatever? And then how are the new constructions coming along? So let's dig into these numbers here. If you see the chart right over here, this is houses under construction. I did it as a 15-year. But, you know, we saw, again, under construction right down here was a huge lag. But let's just go out 5 years. Where are we in 5 years? Okay, it's a nice little steady upturn. Okay, so that's not scaring me there. Building permits, again, they were way down in these areas here, which we keep saying, but a lot of people are like, well, that's not what's causing it. Okay, well, let's just go back 5 years if you want to use data. So are we way off on building permits there? No. All right, what's the next category? Delinquencies and so forth. Okay, this ends in January. Okay, the problem I have with this chart is just this. Forbearances. All right, I'm still a proponent. And now here's my revision. All right, you come out of the forbearance, then you start working with your lender for a couple months. I completely missed the boat on this, and I apologize. You work with your lender a couple months, and then you don't see eye to eye, or they put you into a modification or a something. And then you go on that and you try to pay 3 or 4 months, and then maybe you don't. Okay, the foreclosure piece, and I completely botched it. I agree. It's my fault. I admit it when I'm wrong. It's going to take a year for foreclosures to pump through the system. Not, I was thinking, as soon as somebody came out of foreclosure, instead of just knowing they can't afford the house anymore, putting it on the market. Well, we might see a lot of people just sit back and say, you know what, I'm just going to ride this out as long as I can. So that's the unknown that I'm facing right now. So do my predictions, are they going to come true? I always am a proponent. Let's see what March and April sees or does. And the reason being is that is when most people put their homes on the sale, up for sale. Why is that? Okay. Well, a lot of people have children. Okay. And they wait until the time of the year, which is usually February, March, April, to put their house on the market. Why? It's going to take 30 days to get a contract. That puts them in, so let's say April, May. Then it's going to take 30 to 45 days to close. That puts them in June, July. That's the summertime. Kids are off. People are more transient during that time for this. So that is, I think, keeping a lot of things on the sidelines right now. So people might come out of forbearance, make 1 or 2 mortgage payments, put their house on the market. Others that go into foreclosure, it's going to take a year. So I'm not really recasting a ton of data, but I missed the boat on that. So I apologize on that side of the equation. All right, so let's dig into more of this. You focus in on this, and I'm going to give kudos to DS News on this one. If you scroll down, and I'll zoom here in a second, right here, let's zoom in. The only reason these numbers aren't higher is because there's nothing available to buy. Okay, right here. Properties are selling across the country in less than 2 weeks. We still are seeing properties selling over their list prices. So there's just basically no units. Zillow recently reported inventory levels in December of 2021 dropped by 11% to an all-time low. An all-time low. Okay, so I'm not making up the numbers, guys. Let's scroll over to existing homes. So we got existing homes. In January 2022, existing home sales rose to a seasonally adjusted annual rate of 6.5 million, an increase of 6.7 from the month before, with sales up in all regions. The highlight here, at the end of December, the inventory of unsold existing homes fell to a new all-time level of 860. So let's recap all of this data. We have people coming out of the forbearance program, but to get foreclosed on, it's going to take you about 12 months to get foreclosed on. Many are going to maybe possibly try to modify their loan. They'll work with their lenders. Many will make maybe 1 or 2 mortgage payments, then they'll put their house on the market. So we're going to see forbearance is starting to come into the market. But other context here, I think existing homes are going to add to the market because a lot of people have a lot of equity and a lot of people are a little more transit now. But once the supply chain, and when that is, I don't know. But I have friends over the weekend. I went to a wedding and a lot of people in manufacturing. They're like, dude, we can create our products in about a month or two. These are huge equipment that they make. But it ships from Taiwan, China, some other sea or some other area, and it sits outside of ports in the US, and it'll sit there for months and months and months. And that's what's taking the homes basically are not able to be completed because of the supply chain issue. So until that's truly fixed, it's going to be really, really hard for more and more homes to come on the market. So I am going to tweak my numbers a little bit. Hate to say it. I think sales are going to be flat because there's just nothing there, but that's going to drive up prices. So here's what investors are doing. I talked to several investors today. They're still loading up. They're still buying. They're leveraging. Why? They could pass on the higher rents to you guys. So you're either going to sit back and say, I'm just going to keep eating or having my rent increase 10% a year, because investors are using their cash. They're putting it to work. And they're locking in today. They're locking in at the rates, so the payments don't ever move. So if you're waiting basically for the house prices to go up and mortgage rates to go up, meaning your payments are going to go up. Okay, so that's that piece of the equation. Hate for the bad news. I'm just trying to give you as much advice or much facts as I can, and I just posted all of those there. So if you're reaching or looking out for any help or assistance with a mortgage, what I'd ask you to do is check out our website. We'd love to be able to help you. What you do is go to therateupdate.com, reach out to us. If you're looking for trying to buy an investment property, we have investor loans where you can qualify with the lease only on the property. We have bank statement loans. We have Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, conventional, jumbos, FHA, VA, USDAs, reverses, everything you need. How do you reach out to us? Right here. Give us a call at 844-775-5626 or click the schedule a meeting button or click the apply now button and you're on your way. Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend. I'll see you Monday. Bye-bye.